Why do diets stop working after 40? Big question. You clean up your eating, you push harder in the gym, yet the scale won't move, or in some cases, it even creeps up. If that's you in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, stay with me because nothing is wrong with you. What's wrong is the strategy you were told to use. So we need to start with what actually changes with age in real life, not in theory. First, your metabolism unfortunately begins to slow down. The same lunch that felt like maintenance at 30 can slowly add weight at 45. Second, insulin resistance tends to build. Now, insulin is a hormone that lets fuel into your cells and actually signals your body to store energy, to store fat. Over years of frequent eating, snacking, and sugar exposure, your cells respond less. So your body makes more insulin, and more insulin now is a louder store it, don't release it signal. Third, muscle mass declines unless you actively protect it. Muscle is your metabolic engine. With less of it, you burn fewer calories all day. Massive. Put those together, and you've got slower burn, stronger storage signals, and smaller engines. Now, layer on the standard advice you've always heard: eat less, move more, right? We always hear that. And here's why that advice backfires after 40. When you cut calories hard, your body compensates, and it does that by lowering your metabolic rate. It turns down the thermostat. When you exercise without more meal timing changes, you usually eat back those calories, sometimes more, because hunger actually rises. When you snack throughout the day, even healthy snacks, don't let it fool you, insulin stays elevated and fat stays locked away. You can't access it. If you've ever felt like the harder I try, the less it works, you're not imagining it. You're fighting biology with the wrong tool. So what actually works? You know I'm going to say it: fasting. How does that happen? Well, when you go a planned period without eating, insulin comes down. When insulin comes down, what happens to your body? It finally gets a signal to unlock the stored fat, and it can use it for fuel. I like to think of it as, insulin is the lock on a fat cell. Fasting is the key that turns it, opens it up. This isn't starving. It's a structured timing tool that lets your body switch from regular sugar burning to fat burning again. And this is what you need. Let me make this really practical and simple. Most people over 40 run into the same three mistakes when they try fasting and say it didn't work. One is they keep grazing, just a handful of nuts or a sip of creamer in the coffee, and that still breaks your fast for fat loss purposes. Why? Because insulin still rises. Second, they break the fast with sugar. I've made this mistake. If your first meal is a smoothie, juice, cereal, or a big bowl of fruit, insulin surges and cravings roar back. And three, people forget food quality. Fasting is timing, not permission to slip into a ultra processed food binge when the food window opens. Protein, healthy fats, whole foods. Those matter even more after 40. I'm John D'Ambrosio, author of Fasting That Works. I wrote the book for people exactly in this season. Not bodybuilders in their 20s, although it works for them, but real humans in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who want their energy back. They want their clothes to fit again, and they want a plan that isn't a gimmick. All right, so here's how to get started the right way. Step one, pick a simple starter window. Now, what does this mean? Well, most people do well beginning with a 14-10, which is 14 hours fasting, 10 hours eating window. And they do that for a week, and then they move to a 16-8. Morning, coffee, tea. Having a plain is fine during the fast. Keep it clean. Water, plain black coffee, plain tea. No creamers, no sweeteners, no zero-calorie drinks that spike insulin. Step two, break the fast with protein first. After 40, protecting muscle is non negotiable. Aim for 25 to 40 to 50 grams of protein your first meal. Eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken, fish, steak and veggies with a little olive oil. Save the stuff like the starchier carbs, rice, strength training 2 to 3 times a week. Fasting preserves more muscle than crash dieting, but resistance training plus protein, that is what tells your body, keep this muscle, we need it. You don't need a fancy plan. Push, pull, hinge, squat. 30 to 40 minutes is plenty. I only do 20 to 30 minutes. Step 5, mind the evenings. Late night eating is kryptonite after 40. Try to close that window 2 to 3 hours before bed. Your sleep improves, fat burning improves, you just end up better overall. Step, step 6, expect a ramp, not fireworks. The first 7 to 10 days, hunger may wobble as your body shifts fuels. Totally normal. Electrolytes help this. Sodium, potassium, magnesium. Stay hydrated. That really, really helps. And hit that protein in your window. That helps a lot. Around week 2 or 3, energy kind of steadies, cravings drop, and that's kind of when everything clicks for you. So now, common objections people have with fasting. Isn't fasting just starvation? Absolutely not. Fasting is not starvation. It is forced nutrient packaging and bundling. It's strategic. You eat and you nourish deeply. It's not really eating less forever. It's eating less often so your body regains access to stored fuel, which is important. If people say I don't need 6 small meals a day to keep my don't I need 6 small meals a day to keep my metabolism up? After 40, those insulin spikes are the opposite of what you want. Metabolic health improves when you give your system breaks. A huge complaint I get, or a worry I get, is when I lose muscle. With protein and strength training, fasting protects muscle better than chronic undereating. So important. Crash diets, they burn muscle. Smart fasting plus protein preserves it, and you can actually build muscle. People say, what about cardio? Cardio is great for heart health and mood. For fat loss, though, especially after 40, pairing fasting with strength training gets better body composition results than cardio alone. So if you've been beating yourself up because nothing works anymore, take a breath. It's not you, it's a mismatch between standard dieting and midlife biology. Fasting, guess what? It's the lever that realigns your plan with how your body now works. So important. So here's your next step. Remember, keep it simple. For the next 14 days, weeks 1 to 2, 16 8-hour fasts. Keep it clean, protein first, and have 2 meals during the window. That's it. Strength train 2 to 3 times a week. Get a walk in daily. Close your window 2 to 3 hours before bed. Track inches, how your clothes fit, and energy, not just the scale. At the end of 2 weeks, you should notice steadier energy, fewer cravings, and maybe there's some sort of combination of inches or weight moving, things like that. Even if the scale plays games day to day, don't pay attention to it. If you want the full playbook, it's in my book, Fasting That Works, and that's written for people exactly like you because I am exactly like you. And if you want me to walk you through everything step by step, that's what my coaching is for. We tailor fasting to your schedule, your stress, and your goals so it sticks. I work with you personally. Remember, you're not broken. You just need a strategy that finally works with your biology, not against it.